Hey, it's AT time. My name is Ron Freeman, and today on Animation Trainers, we're going to be discussing the second principle of animation in our 12 Principles of Animation series, which is the principle of anticipation. And to make sure that you don't miss any of the other videos in this series or any of the other videos that we post here on Animation Trainers, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and switch the notification bell to all. Now, anticipation may be the second in the list as it appears in the book Disney Animation: The Illusion of Life by Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston. But it's important to remember that these aren't listed in any order of priority. Each of the 12 principles of animation are equally important to keep in mind when creating a scene. Freddie Moore, who was one of the top animators at the time that they had decided upon these 12 principles of animation, created a little prize wheel of sorts that he attached to his desk, and the wheel had each of the 12 animation principles written out on the 12 slots that the ticker could land on. And so every time he got in to start his day, or got up to have lunch, or got up to go to the bathroom, or got up to grab a cup of coffee and would come back to his desk, he would spin that wheel. And whatever of the 12 animation principles the wheel landed on was the animation principle he would try to keep in mind while he went back to work on his current shot. And it didn't matter which of the 12 the wheel landed on because all of the 12 principles are equally important to keep in mind when creating an animated performance. But today we are talking about anticipation. Anticipation has some of its foundation in basic physics and momentum. Going backwards before going forward when taking a step to walk is a result of shifting your weight onto your rear foot in order to reposition your front foot for walking forward with your first step. Your body has to position itself over the foot that's going to stay on the ground so that you can lift the stepping foot off the ground and not immediately fall on your tush. The windup of a baseball pitch also can be considered an anticipation, as it's necessary for the body to turn back away from the throwing direction so as to create as much inertia and torque and momentum as possible when the body opens up and the ball is thrown towards its intended target. But the concept of anticipation, especially when it's used in relation to animation, also serves as a means of telegraphing intent. Many people feel a closeness to animated characters because they feel like they know them and that they're kindred spirits somehow. This notion might be a result of the use of anticipation in animation. Let's look at 3 examples of a character picking up an object. A gorilla will consider the object, and once it decides it wants to pick it up, it'll do so immediately with very little anticipation. Lack of anticipation can be part of what is encouraging the action to feel more primal and animalistic. A human picking up an object, in contrast, will likely feature the person noticing and considering the object, showing thought, raising their hand prior to lowering it, as well as spreading their fingers wide in preparation for closing them around the object, and then picking it up to examine it. But if we got an animated character like Tigger, he's gonna look at that thing and then he's gonna reach up and he's gonna pick it up and he's gonna hold it up like this. And hey, if you like that Tigger impersonation, leave me an orange heart down in the comments below. Because an animated character performs those anticipation actions in a broad manner, they serve to telegraph what the character is about to do, and we can perceive those actions quickly enough that it almost makes us feel like we can read that character's mind, and man, I tell you, that guy and I are totally on the same page. Anticipation not only serves to help ensure that our characters move in a realistic way that communicates weight and balance, and thought and motivation, but is also both a conscious and subconscious way of being able to communicate our character's intent with greater clarity. In our next video, we'll be discussing staging and how the placement and positioning of your characters and the camera placement and movement in relation to those characters can affect the emotional response of your audience. And to make sure that you don't miss that video or any of the other videos that we post here on Animation Trainers, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and switch that bell. And would you like to have a private session with me where we can discuss how to improve your animation skills working with me one-on-one? Then please visit our website at animationtrainers.com and schedule a session with me. My name is Ron Freeman, and I hope that we will see you for our next video here at Animation Trainers. In the meantime, keep it moving.